Hi guys, and welcome back to the Divine Witch. So today is the first Monday upload that I haven't had anything ready for Monday upload. So I figured this would be a great time to discuss our events that are coming up, what we're going to be doing at these events, and kind of like what to expect. We do a lot of different style events. There is only one event that we do each year that's the same over and over and over again. Like, you know when it's going to be, and that because we believe in trying to change things up and trying to show, we're a part of the community. We don't want to make stale events to where it's the same thing over and over. So that's kind of what we do over here on this channel. So we try to think of new ideas for the pagan community to get that engagement, to get everybody excited. So the first event that we're going to be at is actually the Saturday, June 4th. And we are going to be at Hamilton, Ohio Pride. I'll make sure to link everything I'm talking about down below in the description. So that way you guys can check out and see what it's all about. So what exactly are we going to do at this Pride event? At this Pride event, we're going to share information about our faith, what exactly we do as a group and a community, and just share our experiences, because a lot of us do fall under the umbrella of the LGBTQ plus community. So we want to spread love, we want to spread awareness, and try to have dialogue with not only the pagan community, but the surrounding communities as well, and kind of show who we are and what we stand for. So that's basically what we're going to do. I've laminated a lot of our information so we don't have to keep on killing trees, so to speak, as far as like having to reprint things off every time we do an information event. And so, I got things about donations, I got frequently asked questions, I got the information on our community garden, I've got, just pictures from different events that we've done, and we've got our activism done so far. Now there will be more eventually, but this is what I got in my laminating kit. So this is what I was able to do at the time. I will be printing off different pamphlets that I'm going to be working on this week so that we can hand out during the event. But, as of right now, that's what I've got set up for the event. We're going to be giving out free waters while our supplies last, of course. And we're just going to be there to have a good time and share the experience with everyone. They're going to be having a run, I believe, in high heels, which I would do, but God's no, I can barely run without high heels. And with high heels, it would just be a tumble effect at that point. But that's beside the point. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move into what our July 9th event's going to be. This is an event that we're actually holding. It is called Embracing the Feminine. Now, I know some of you are like, oh my God, look at the day and age. Read the room. Now listen, we all have different experiences, and some of us grew up in a time where it was only divine masculine and divine feminine. So with that being said, we want to create an experience where we talk about our experiences, whether it be females, males, people who don't identify with gender norms, and how does that work within a religious practice, such as whatever path you choose to work with. Now, I know when you say religious, people are like, they think, brimstone and fire, but it's not all about that. Spirituality and religion are very similar. They do have differences, but they kind of coincide with each other. It's like two waves of the spectrum. They intersect at certain points, right? And with the divine feminine, it is part of a 3-part series, okay? So the first is divine feminine, September, divine masculine, October, the divine in between. And I'm going to kind of explain what those mean for me and what I expect for these events and how they should go. So for the divine feminine, and the divine masculine, and in between, we're going to have a certain group of panelists among that people can ask questions, they can share their experiences. This isn't just like, hey, look at me, this is my experiences. No, this is an interactive experience. And what I mean by that is we're going to get people from different paths, different age groups, different experiences. They may have started later in life, earlier in life, somewhere in the in-between in their life, you know what I mean? And what brought them, what struggles have they faced within their community, and how embracing either the divine feminine or what people perceive as a divine feminine and what the divine feminine means for them. On this channel, I always say, no two witches witch alike. And the reason I say that is because we may be similar in certain aspects, but we are never the exact carbon copy. We have different thoughts, different philosophies, different ways of doing things. So I want to share that experience, not with only the younger generation, but a generation to where things are changing. And, let's be realistic. We also got laws being made about females' bodies, and it's created a lot of chaos for us in the community. So it's one of those things where we're kind of wrapping it all into one and sharing our experiences, trying to help others, build them up, and talk about what the divine feminine means for us. There's a notion with the divine feminine as well as the masculine that you have to be strong. If you're strong, you're masculine. And if you're sensitive, you're feminine. But not everybody follows that same trope. And we want to showcase that. So even though it seems like we're gearing towards those gender roles, it's not quite what it's about. And so that's what I wanted to explain to you guys with this event and the future events that are coming up. And for those of you who have decided to join and participate in the experience of sharing your experience, not being afraid to share your experience, and actually put yourself out there and be vulnerable, I appreciate you, because it's not easy. A lot of people, no matter what it is, no matter if it's religion or how you like your coffee, everybody has a different perspective. Not everybody's going to appreciate everybody's perspective, but that's what makes us unique as witches, because we can embrace each other even though we have different philosophies and different ways of doing things. And that's what I want to showcase. Now, moving on from that, we've got Witch in the Woods 2022. We are finally back. This is the one event throughout the year that we always do. It's our one trick pony throughout the year, okay? As far as it's going to happen. So with that being said, what is Witch in the Woods? Witch in the Woods is a time for us to get back in nature, communicate, have ritual, support pagan businesses, and also to have those deep discussions within our community. That's what it's always been about. Along with having fun without worrying about, oh, I don't got this much money. It's fucking free. It is free for people to come to. Now, our vendors, we have started charging them over the years, unless they're new vendors or we've worked out an agreement. And the reason that we do this is because we're promoting you. We're putting it out there. So if you don't come, but you got all that promotion, then, it helps put back into the next Witch in the Woods. Because depending on the spot, we've done the 30-man lot, which is about $50 a night. We've done the 100-man lot, which is $100 a night. And so, it equals out, plus with what we get in our Patreon as well, to put these events and stuff together. Because everything is semi-homemade when it comes to this event, of trying to get the workshops together, trying to get the presenters together. What kind of ritual are we going to do? What are we wanting to put out there? Are we going to have certain types of entertainment? How can we make it the best experience that we can? No, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of times where we put up our schedules and nothing goes right. We skip things don't go as planned, but that's part of the process. Because you can plan and it looks great on paper and you got how it's going to go in your head. But until you're in that experience and having that experience, it's totally different. Now, the one thing that is going to be different this year than any other Witch in the Woods is that we are going to be there the day prior, as far as staff and vendors only. So we will be there Friday prepping for Saturday. So it won't be like everybody shows up Saturday and we're there on a whim and we're getting used to the location and getting everything set up. And here comes people and, oh my God, I got to run and be like, oh my God, hi. No, total different setup. So Friday night, me, the staff, and our vendors will be setting up. So that way, when it comes noon, that's 12 p.m., you guys can start rolling in. Come in, enjoy the day. We can have time to go to the beach if we want to, have time to have fun, discussions. It can be more free flowing, kind of like a Ren fair without the commitment. You know what I mean? And you get to do more. There's more time in the day, the actual day, to where it's fun and exciting, and you can go hiking and discussions and stuff. So that's the only difference that's going to happen. Also, if you guys have noticed, throughout our events, we have started to add things and change things because we're growing as a group. We're not a group that's super highly sponsored. You know what I mean? Like our Patreon, I think we get about $100 a month. So that all goes into either if we're buying stuff for, office stuff, it goes into for the events itself. It goes into if somebody in the community needs help. Eventually we'll get our garden started up this year because we started seeds that didn't work. And then everything's just been happening all at once. And my goal is, fingers crossed, sometime in June to get the garden actually started. You plan for things and sometimes things work and sometimes things don't. And sometimes you just got to roll with the flow and see where it takes you. And that's pretty much where I'm at. But if everything goes good with the garden, there will be fresh vegetables at the Witch in the Woods that are going to be given to the community for free. Just for the reason being, that's what we do. It's part of our trope. You know what I mean? Like we give back. We always leave things better than what we came into them for. And that's basically what we do. We try to help out as much as we can, no matter if it's a small business or if we're just helping someone in the community. We don't always publicize, hey, look at this picture. We did this, we did that, because that's just being an asshole, in my opinion. So sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you won't. It just depends what the vibe is and what the people want. Because a lot of times when we struggle as people, the last thing we want is our face plastered on a Facebook page going, thanks for helping me. I've been there. It's not the best feeling in the world. So with that being said, take it as it is. So with that being said, there is a couple of events that I would like to get into this year. I have debated about going back to Dayton Pagan Pride Day. So, we haven't really discussed that as a group. I would like to attend the Witches Ball this year for the reason being that I didn't get to last year because I had COVID. It sucked. I don't recommend it. It's not a 10 out of 10 experience. Okay. So with that being said, that's kind of what we got going on so far as events and what's going on. Also, I know some people are like, well, how can I help with your events? Because that's one of the biggest things that I hear about events. What can I do? How can I help you? Look, first off, take a breath, because it's all great when we're at an event, right? Because we're excited, blood's pumping, the spiritual ancestors are chiming in the background. And then you get home and you're like, God, I made a commitment. And this group is a commitment. Like if you do volunteer, we get the things happen. Life gets in the way. But sometimes, commitment is a commitment. You know what I mean? Like if you know something prior hand, don't make a commitment. If you want to help, eventually we have a volunteer list. We can call you when we need volunteers and you can tell us, hey, I can't do it. Or hey, I can do it. You know what I mean? Things happen. So I'm putting that out there. If you ever want to be a volunteer, you're more than welcome to. Just let us know prior hand. Another thing I seen come up today, especially when it came to Witch in the Woods, is, disability accessible. Any of our group camp spots, they never come with electric. So there is no hookup, there is no campers, there's none of that craziness. It's just a tent and woods and land. And it's not to discourage people from coming. It's because one, is cheap. Just being honest. We're not made of a lot of money over here on this channel or in this group. So it's cheap. It's easy to do. And sometimes, depending on where we're at, the parking can be really good. Sometimes the parking can be crap. It really depends. But with that being said, if you ever have a feeling of wanting to come to an event, one, you don't ever have to be anxious, which I know is the worst thing to tell somebody that's anxious. Two, even if you're disabled in some kind of way, we will work as hard as we can to make it an event that you can show up at, because we believe in inclusivity. Okay. We want you guys to come to the event. We don't want you to feel like, well, I can't have this, or I'm going to be over here. You know what I mean? We will do whatever we can to try to make it to where you can come to this event. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. And if you have any questions, like I said, I'm going to link all the events down below so you guys can check them out. And if you guys want to donate, we've got our Patreon, which is linked down below as well. It's a monthly fee, whatever you choose. I think the smallest package is $5. if you want to help us out, that's cool. If not, just share the word and like the video and comment down below, help the algorithm. That helps at least. So with that being said, I want to say thank you guys, and always remember, no two witches witch alike.